All right, everyone. Your host, Cy Smith, coming to you. I am also recording on a Blue Wednesday. Every Wednesday is Economic Day. It is the last Wednesday of this whole year. So we ask people to name their four black businesses they supported before the year, before the end of the month. This is how we hold ourselves accountable when we look in the mirror, knowing that we've done our part to help that African American now who is already being discriminated against when it comes to capital, access to capital, that they also are being hurt by crime in our neighborhoods where people rather go shopping outside the neighborhoods. So for you to be able to name your four in this environment really puts money in the hands of the risk takers who are starting and running the business. So thank everyone that takes this real, who takes this personal to be able to name their four. This video here is going to be brief. I just want you guys to better understand what I talked about earlier today with the twice a year solution, also called last name solution. And I'm about to break this down so you guys can see bigger picture what I was speaking about, how to me how easy it's going to be to turn our neighborhoods around, to turn our communities around. And it's because of the way we are gonna live. And I want to stress that a lot of times people think it's something we're going to do, but it's really a matter of lifestyle that's going to allow us to live better, is with this lifestyle adjustment. HSN is what I call it: habits, schedule, network. Habits, schedule, network. Some people have a network to die for. Whatever they need, it's a phone call away because they have that type of network, meaning they can pick up the phone and get what they need from their people that knows them. Well, we work every day to build each of our networks stronger, and that's why we ask for your help when it comes to each month last names, so we can keep building this database up and making it make sense for you. So this month, which is December still, anyone last names V through Z. So we were on a all-out recruiting effort this whole month to find V through Z last name personnel. I put this graph together here, this chart with this PowerPoint, and I want you guys, if you don't mind, to let me go to the annotations so that way I can kind of show you what this is. Let me pull that up so I can work with you on this so you can see what I want to emphasize here. Let me make it red. Y'all know red stands out the most. So let me make this red right here. Okay, so let me first call to your attention these, I'm calling them degrees. Degrees. And the reason I want you to look at this, because this is a circle, and a circle um, is a 360-degree shape. And so this is 0, and this is 90. At the halfway point, you're at 180. Focus right here, 200 degrees. And all of this right here equals 160, because when it concludes, it'll be 360 right here. And that completes the whole circle. Let me clear that out. So I just want you to know, inside this circle, I called it the vulnerable. Let me clear that out. That doesn't look good. The vulnerable. And when you look at 760 murders already, people are pretty vulnerable in Chicago. You look at, 150 murders in Birmingham. People are pretty vulnerable. You look in Atlanta, 154 murders already. Men, women, and children are vulnerable to the violence that we face in our communities. And if you guys heard me speak in the past, you've always heard me talk about the three things that Black people are up against: isolation, starvation, exploitation. This is all done to us by outside forces. The hurt, abuse, and bitterness is what we do to ourselves. That's the internal challenge in front of us: hurt, abuse, and bitterness. So I put these things over here together, all together, these six enemies, if you will, six things working against us every day, working against the men, the women, and the children every day. All six of these things are trying to hurt you because that's what they do. And based on this system we've developed, we said, let's take turns sharing the workload of fixing these attacks that's happening to us. So I want to bring this to your attention right here now. Let me clear that out so these you can only see the one lines I'm talking about. So this is our twice a year solution. When you're dealing with people under constant attack, it's important not to be too dependent on them because they got to ward off 5 other attacks every day. So in this case here, we're saying we're only gonna ask them to help twice a year and depending on their last name. So if their last name is A through E, it's only January, only July. That's it. We hope we can count on them for that. This month, as you can see, this is December. So every June and December, last names V through Z. So let me clear that out. Hopefully that makes sense for you. Okay, let's come back up to the top here so you guys can see. Okay, so I want you to get this visual here, you guys. This is a big deal. I want you to see this. This says front line. It's a bad drawing. This says front line. Front line. In the military, the key with the front line is that's kind of the battle line. So whoever's on that front line, their job is to protect what's behind that line and not let any forces advance. All right. So this is the front line, as you can see here, protecting our vulnerable men, women, and children. That's what that is right here. This is a line I drew here. So what we're saying is all of these things are coming, trying to attack the vulnerable, our men, women, and children. And for the month of December only, are we asking 160 people, we want 160 people to help us defend this line. We want them to help us defend the front line. Who we want, we know who we want. We want the Van Pelts. We want the Walkers, the Wares. We want the Zieglers. We want the Woods, the Youngs, the Xaviers. And if we get them, that means we have someone to protect the vulnerable, the men, women, and children. So earlier today, someone said, "So what they go do? How they go protect?" Like, and this is what I want to be real clear with. I probably need to close this so you can look at me fully here. Here's what I want you guys to know. The hard work is done already. Every one of these videos I do now is for training purposes because something has been built that's gonna structurally change the way Black people operate. And so I'm always doing videos to help bring this message and the understanding of what we built closer home to you. But it's already happening. The change is underway. Please know when we talk about stopping the violence, that's a lifestyle change. And as with anything, lifestyle change takes time. It takes a person gaining different perspectives, being exposed to looking at things differently. That helps them to alter behavior. And so HSN is our remedy to all of these attacks: the isolation, starvation, exploitation, the hurt, abuse, and bitterness. HSN is a lifestyle, but it stands for habits, schedule, network. Habits, that's why we got the 7 daily living habits. It allow us to have structure and coordinating capacity every Wednesday economic day. So if Blacks agreeing to that habit, now Black businesses have more funding, they have guaranteed funding, predictable funding, so they can go out and hire. All right. So that's how that works with the habits. The schedule is, as you can see, every June and December, we're asking these people to stand up. That's a schedule. When we talk about every 4th Tuesday being Lawyers Day, that's a schedule. So we have everything we need scheduled. It's a matter of you learning through these trainings what that schedule is for what you care about. And then the last one is network. The fact that we are meeting Van Pelt, Zieglers, once we meet them and find out they're a nurse, we're going to introduce that person, new person, to the existing nurses that we have. So that allows you to build your personal network up. And as you build your network up, they might suggest, hey, let's go out this year, let's do this next year. That's lifestyle. Now you have options or increased options. So that's what we believe is going to turn Black life around. Our Black societies, when we have habits that coordinates us together with no leader. We have a better schedule that allows us to travel, go places, be upward mobile, and we have a network where we're not isolated and by ourselves. We got connections and people all over the place. So having said that, let me scroll down here. I want you guys to see this before I go to the next slide. So I want to highlight this because at the end of the day, if we're not spending, circulate money inside this structure, just like anything, money is considered like blood. It carries oxygen. So if you don't get oxygen, you can end up dying. If your blood don't circulate, you can have a blood clot and die. So when people don't support this $1 a month, they're essentially suffocating us. For the whole month, for the whole month of December, we met no V people. No one in our network recommended someone whose last name is Vaughn, Van Pelt, anything like that. We met one W person, which is a Williams, even though we got Walkers, Wilsons, all of that. We met no Z person, no X person, no Y person, and no Z person. This one Williams person contributed $20. Not even the 12, they did more. So we appreciate that, but they did $20. That helped us. All right. And for those who say, well, how does a dollar help? Here's how it helps. And I'm going to be real clear to everyone. HAT TM is housing, awards, travel, training, and manpower. When we're dealing with millions of dollars, we still literally going to deal with housing, awards, travel, training, manpower. So this is it. HATM. Housing. So every dollar helps us with our housing costs. Every dollar helps us with our awards to our young people, K through 12th grade. Every dollar helps us with travel, with being able to come to Chicago, get you from Chicago down to Georgia. Every dollar helps us with training, part of what I'm doing here, and every dollar helps us with staff, manpower. So every dollar helps. And in this case, Williams was the only one on schedule that helped. Now, for everyone else, just so you go, no, we had 2 donors whose last names was A through E who helped. It wasn't in their turn, but they helped. So they kept us a little bit better afloat. 3 donors, last names F through K, helped us this month so far. Then we had 2 donors with L, M, N, O last names help. Then under P, Q, and R last names, 2 other donors helped. So now we're at 9 donors. And then S, T, and U donors hit it out the park. They got ST and U's got 6. So 9 plus 6 is 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. 15 donors, and then the one that's scheduled that we put the most energy, time, and all our printing toward, only one person, V through Z, came through. And that was this brother right here, Williams, with $20. This hurts every movement that we do. Anything we do, this hurts. Because if our whole energy is going toward V through Z, that means no one listened to us and took action or didn't understand it, but we didn't get traction. And remember, we're not talking to V through Z again, or we're not pushing it until December. So the fact that after today, it's on to 6 months from now, which is June, before we reach back out with V through Z. So this was a missed opportunity for us. And these are the zip codes. And, we ideally would have had, referrals coming in from last name personnel. Let me go to this last piece. And this is 6 slides here. So I'm going to clear this out. I want to break this part down so you guys can see this. And hopefully this will make more sense. So let me scroll up first. Let me scroll up. Now, what you're looking at right here is how to serve duty twice a year, how to serve. And this is February through August, which is coming up in 60 days, February. So anyone last names F through K, we're saying this is your turn. You've been waiting 6 months, this is your turn. Well, what's new that I'm premiering right here for you guys right now is under isolation. White flight took place in the 60s all over America, where whites left and blacks was left with a territory with jobs leaving following the whites. Team 6 is race relations. So we assigned Team 6 to dealing with the isolation, which is reverse of what happened in the 60s, which we're saying to the white community, can you name 4? Can you name 4 black businesses that you supported? Because when our white brothers and sisters put money behind our brothers and sisters, the blacks who are taking risks and running a business, what this does, this gives them money they wouldn't have had if it wasn't for this anti-isolation process we have. So this allows us to really move the needle if you're a black business and you're getting dollars from the white community. So that's how that works. Let me clear this out. And let me tell you specifically who we want to do what. If your last name begins with F, in February, you're going to be asked to help find the white community, suburbs, and ask them to support Black businesses. That's if your last name begins with the F. So these are some of the last names: Fears, Fishers, Frasers. Okay, let me clear that out. If your last name begins with the alphabet H, there you go, Hall, Hardys, and Harrises. We're asking you to help with Team One, which is Black businesses, and we want you to go shopping in a designated area that we designated, which in February is Roseland. So no matter where you at, you in North Lawndale and your last name Harris, prepare now because come February, we're asking you to go to Roseland and spend money with a Black business. Remember, we're only asking you to do something twice a year. So we hope you'll be up for that. And if you do that, it's gonna do a lot. People may say, what's that gonna do about the violence? Remember, everything we're doing is happening inside of a bubble, inside a circle where other things are happening. So when you go over there, we've been telling people about Wednesday Economic Day. Now you come and spend money, it validates what we're saying. We've been talking to people about getting a 13-year-old, a 18-year-old involved, and they want to know what they can do. Then they see what you've done. So everything is happening, not in a vacuum, but coordinated together. So that's why you going all the way in Roseland shopping in February really, really matters, because who you shopping with may be a business that said they don't see our value, but when they see a West Side that came all the way over there and spent money with them, now they're gonna listen to us a little bit quicker and hopefully come on board with the $144 package for businesses. If you are a Hayden or Henderson, we want you to join Team Five. That's our construction team, people who work with their hands in the skilled trade. So if you are Henderson in February, we're asking you to pay for somebody's repairs. And the reason we say repairs because that's mainly Team Five is construction. So that means, let's just say, for instance, someone, they porch light won't come on, and this is going to cost $75. They don't have it in their budget. You might say, all right, I'm going to pay for that $75. What you're really doing is putting money into that Black electrician's pocket, and now that Black electrician is going to listen to us because it was our connection that got them this money they didn't anticipate. And now they're going to open up to the process. So again, I want you guys to see how everything is interrelated. And all the Henderson did was waited all the way to February to go and support someone else. If your last name is Hicks, Hodge, or Hubbard, we got you in Team 7, which is our food team. So we ask you to pay for someone's food. That's real easy. You're Hicks. You're gonna pay mac and cheese lady, Sister Danielle. You're gonna just cash out her the money and say, take your mac and cheese to this address. Now you supported one of our Team 7 members, which is food, which is Danielle. She got some money she wouldn't have got if it wasn't for this process. And now whoever you're paying for their food, be it their birthday or being a senior, you want to do something special on a Friday for a senior, but now you're spreading the love too. So you circulate money with Black businesses. You can name them as one of your four, and you're helping Black people smile and feel good. Let me clear that out. That's how we fight isolation and starvation, and who we fight that with. Let me scroll down now and go to exploitation. Exploitation is a little bit more nefarious because there's some intentional stuff. So Team 2 is our people who love protesting and holding people accountable. All Gordons are going to be asked to join that team and help us do report cards, evaluations. Team 8 is our lawyers and politicians. We ask them the Gibbs to commit to the lawyers and politicians, and let's help our children get practice doing mock trials. The mock trials is an amazing opportunity to pull people together, have intermissions, let the kids test their skills, and be entertainment to anyone we're doing it with. We normally do it outside so community can walk up and see good happening inside the neighborhood. Okay, let me clear that out. So that just helped us fight against our outside enemy: isolation, starvation, exploitation. Now, people may say, that ain't enough. We got all these problems. Keep in mind, this here, what I'm saying that we want the last names to do is for people who are ultra busy and we only have their attention literally twice a year. So that's who this is for. If you are organizing and this is what you do 365, keep doing that. We're not interfering with that. We're saying you're gonna have the Hodges to help you during this month. Next month, it's a different last name that's going to help you. So we're going to be getting the subject matter experts for everything they're working on. We're going to be getting you free labor because it's coming based on these last names that I'm going over with you. So I just wanted to make that clear so you guys can see how that works. Now let's go down to the internal problems. which is hurt, abuse, and bitterness. And here we go. So anyone, Jackson, Jones, Johnson's, we put you in team 4. You're going to be dealing with the hurt people. Some people hurt for 40 years, they never won anything. Well, now kindergarten through 12th grade is going to win, that they could take away that argument of I never won anything, because they competing in the academic scholarships. Pay for 12th K through 12th grade awards. So this is how the Jacksons, Jones, and Johnsons in February can help us make our neighborhood stronger. Is by the Jacksons saying we're going to put $100 up for the 5th graders award. The Jones saying we're going to put $200 up for the 12th graders award. The Johnson saying we're going to put $20 up for the 1st grade awards. Just by doing that in February, it puts us in a winning position to offer to that parent of a 3rd grader, hey, money is coming down the pipeline. This is why you should get involved. It helps us with that type of recruiting. Now, the abuse is done by or supported by Team 3, which is our safety team. And the key here is these are people who sacrifice their life to protect us. So it makes sense for the abused to at least listen to what Team 3 will have to say, because they all about putting their life on the lines for other people. So if your last name is Irvin or Israel, we'll be talking to you about helping us with walks and patrols around our neighborhood, spreading love and recruiting people to this concept. Then the last one is bitterness. Bitterness is more of a simmering problem. It's been happening, and it just keeps over time brewing and gets to a place where it bubbles up. Team 4 is education. So you can kind of teach and coach people out of that emotion. And also allowing economic awards will give them even more incentive to think differently and not be so angry. Anyone last name K is assigned to the bitterness team 4 team, which is Kemp's Kings, people like that. And we're asking you to do the same thing. Put money up for the K through 12th grade awards to help with the same reason we're doing the hurt and abuse. So those were the last names. Let me clear that out. I'm done in 1 minute. Let me go through each month. So that was February. Here's March and September. I want you to look at this. So this is every March and September. Last names L, M, N, and O. So same format, you guys. Team 6 is made up of Lanes, Lewis, Lusters. So the L's are helping out here. Then the Macon and Marshalls helping out with Team 1. Then we got the Meeks and Merles helping out with Team 5. Then you got the Montgomerys, Morris, and Murphys helping out with Team 7. The N's got Team 2 and Team 8. So that's what the N's are doing, last name N. Then as you go down a little bit further, let me clear that out. Now we got the last names O, and they're helping out with the internal challenge we have with the hurt, abuse, and bitterness. So they're going to help put money up for Team 4 to help our children and their parents feel good about winning financially. Team 3 is our military safety team. So the Odoms and Overtons will help us with walking and patrolling our neighborhoods. So when people see people out patrolling, the first thing they're going to say, that's not sustainable. They doing that now because the TV cameras up there. They ain't going to keep doing that. And for us, the beauty with this system, we already know it's the Overtons and the Odoms only twice a year. So they only doing it in February, then again in August. And the next month is last names, F through K. So that's who will be out there. The point is you got every month covered because it's someone different. So that's how that's designed. And the bitterness team 4 again, pay for the awards of the youngsters. So that's it, you guys. Let me come out of this and just take a peek. That's the LMNO people, last name people. This here is the PQ and R people. So as you can see here, April and October, PQs and R's. So that's the Patterson Pearsons. This the Redmond Richmonds, Richardson, Rollisons got us there. The Prestons and Quigley's got us under exploitation. As you can see, all 6 areas where we're losing, now we know exactly which last name people we're going to be assigning to help us fight back. Think about how beautiful that is, because we all got a last name. Now we get to plug in and know what the mission is. And when they carry out that mission, that's just one part of what we do. That's totally separate of Wednesday Economic Day, which is more of a collective, everybody do it type thing. So we got this individual, what you do, and we got the group collective community thing that we asking you to do. But either way it go, it's no burnout to nothing I'm saying to you. This here is This is ST and U last name personnel. So Sanders and Sampson's got team 6. They know what they got to work on. Taylor's and Tate's got the businesses. The Thompsons got the construction and trades persons, and the Tollivers got the restaurants and other food places. Then under um, the accountability one, we got our sister Nakeen, and then we got Underwood. They're gonna help us with the legal side and all things dealing with exploitation on that end. Let me clear this out. Come down some so you guys can see. This is Team 4. So all the Swells, Shaws, Singletaries, Stanberry, Smith, Sullivans, you guys helping internally with our challenges. And that's it. I think this is the last one, V through Z. That's the month we in right now. So this who should have been helping, if you look at it this way. So this month is V through Z. That's this month until tomorrow. So who should have been helping us with getting the suburbs to spend money with us was the Van Pelts, Vince, and Bonds. Who should have been helping us with going shopping on tour, which our tour is a new city in Chicago, where the Walkers, Wares, and Washington should have been helping us on that end. We didn't ask them to do nothing else until this month. Won't ask them to do nothing else until June. Then we had the Whites and Wilsons. Again, same thing. They in construction, pay for someone's repairs. Team 7 is pay for someone's food. And then them are the Williams, the Winfreys, the Woods. So that's it. Thank you guys. Let me close this out and just look at the camera here as we close this out. It's been recording, so I get to post this a little bit later, but let me just give my last final commentary. Without this process that I just showed you, without this process, what we as Black people will end up doing is continuing helping and feeling good about helping people because we love helping people. But just like I said earlier, there were people for 20 years doing helping in Cabrini Green, helping with back to school, helping with food drives, helping with Christmas toys for 20 years. And while they were helping, we weren't doing nothing to change the structure that we were all poor people living on the Gold Coast area where some of the richest people in the world were. And so structurally, it was just a matter of whenever they decided to make us move out of there. And what I'm saying to us as a people, that's symbolic of where we are right now. We're doing a lot of helping. We're doing a lot of stuff. During Hurricane Katrina, people organizing water bottles, Flint organizing water bottles, taking trucks. And when you look at the last 20 years, we've been doing that, but we haven't changed the structure of Black America. We haven't changed the structure. You still got Arabs running the gas stations. You still got Asians running the beauty supply stores and nail salons. You still got other the Latinos coming in doing the grass cutting and the roofing. Those are structural things that helping our people eat and drink is not affecting these structural challenges that face us. And of course, no one else is going to say anything because they're benefiting from our support. So they're not going to say nothing. And that's why I wanted to make certain that you knew you're going to always hear a voice from me because I'm unapologetic about helping our community and how the world has benefited from keeping us down and exploited. And under my watch, that would never, we're going to call it all out and continue to build how we're going to work out of it. Now, if your last name, you saw it and you say, I couldn't do that one thing we asking you to do every 6 months, then we go keep it moving. That's what we go do. But nothing's gonna stop what has to be done. And anyone as a human being should want people to do for self. If you're a human being and you want a group not to do for self, you want a group to be dependent on another group, you should look in the mirror because that's just a unhuman type thing to do. We want the Asians to do well with them and their community. We want the Arabs to do well in their community. We want the Hispanics to do well in their community. We want the whites to do well in their community. Of course, we want the blacks to do well in our community. We just shouldn't be the ones that everyone else come in and do well off of, and it's okay. And if you say anything against it, you being a racist or you being a bigot or anything like that. The bottom line is we have to stop everyone exploiting us. Period. And anyone against that, let's talk about it. All right.